This is like the problem, like I've been recording for a few hours and my camera doesn't have autofocus for video. It has, but it sucks because like it'll like try to find face and like, oh, it's the face is over here. No, it's over here. Like, but yeah, drums and percussion. So let's start with drums. I mainly use Studio Drummer, actually, Native Instruments Studio Drummer. As I said in a previous video, I think I have the complete 13 Ultimate Collector's Edition of their like instruments. So I have like basically all their drum sets, their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s drum sets and like some other things. But yeah, the ones I use are basically Studio Drummer and I think their Garage Drummer a bit too. Some other drum kits I use are not by Native Instruments. So I have a list here of things so I don't forget. Some other things I use for different styles are like I'll use Studio Drummer for like the metal stuff or like for the cinematic when you want like a drum set playing over orchestral music or something, like for a movie track or something. But for other stuff, for more discos things or for a more vintage style, I guess, I have the Past to Future Samples Disco Kit, which is free, by the way. You can go get it. I'll put a link in the description. But yeah, that one is their libraries are very laser focused on a specific sound, and so this disco kit is very, I mean, playing it's almost like listening to a record of some old 80s disco song basically, but just hearing the drums. I mean, it's that good. I'll use that for some stuff. For harder stuff, I'll usually also use Studio Drummer, but layered with ATO Zeus Drums, or their Zeus, I think it's Zeus Drum Kit, which is like this really, I mean, it's that drum kit is like hard and brutal, and I can't find words, but very, not harsh, but focused, perhaps. So I'll use that together with Studio Drummer when I want a bigger, badder drum sound. For percussion, like the epic orchestral percussion, I'll use Damage, because like who doesn't have Damage? I know some people have opinions about loops. I don't really care. I use loops like very in the back of a mix. So I'll maybe have like my main custom made loop, which is like just programmed MIDI, and then I'll have like some pre-made loop under it just to like fill out the in-betweens. And I mean, you can't hear the loop. I doubt, like, even if you use Damage on a regular basis, I doubt you could hear that I used like a pre-made Damage loop under that, because it's so low in the mix and it blends together with everything else, so it doesn't stand out in that way. For more like normal programmed percussion, I'll use 8Dio's Epic Percussion series, or like they have the Epic Taikos, or like the Epic Frame Drums, the Epic Tom-Toms, I think, and what do I forget? The Epic Dhol, DHOL, I don't know how to pronounce that. Like those 4 libraries I'll use. I'll actually like use all 4 of them together, and you get this like really epic big sound. For more classic orchestral uses, I'll use the Symphony series orchestral percussion. I mean, it's fine. It does what I need it to do. The one I mainly use is the timpani, especially like the tuned timpani patch, which especially if you just adjust the microphones a bit and put a bunch of compression on that, you can get a really big and lovely timpani sound, in my opinion. I use that all the time now. Ever since I like discovered that I had timpani, or like what timpani was, like I'm not classically trained really in that way. So when I actually got to study like orchestration and discovered that timpani is actually pretty cool, yeah, I've been using timpani ever since. There's also there's some percussion I use that's not, I couldn't really put them in a category like classical or epic, but it's the stomp, clamps, shouts and whatnot from Red Room, I think, Red Room Audio. And that one has it's just a bunch of people in a room clapping or like hitting their legs or like stomping on the ground, stuff like that. And yeah, that with just some compression and EQ sounds huge, especially when you can use it as an extra layer together with other percussion to like make it sound bigger, because like you can really hear the room in those recordings. So I'll use that a lot to like just fatten up a drum sound. Oh yeah, and I have some like ethnic percussion libraries, but I don't really use them. One library I should mention though, that's pretty, I mean, it's a bit of an unusual sound, but it comes in handy for my kind of style, for my kind of music. It's the 8Dio Batucada, I think it's called. I rarely use it, but when I need it, it's there and it's very useful. Basically, it's nice to like have just as an extra flavor to a percussion arrangement, and I mean, it comes in handy at the strangest of places, like for transitions, for instance. Like you can just make a roll with that, and it sounds, it's like that missing sound somehow. It works well with other percussion libraries to just give it some extra oomph or flavor, basically. And yeah, I think that's it for percussion actually. Bye!